Hey, welcome to another episode of Get Connected AR. It's the platform that we've created really for ministries, nonprofits, and all of the like here in Central Arkansas to really share with you about how you can get connected to some of the great resources and things kind of taking place in and around our community. And I'm glad to be able to share today with my friends, Chrissy and Kim, from the organization called Goodness Village. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. We're so glad to be here, Anthony.
I'm glad. I've gotten a chance to kind of have a back seat to this organization and kind of see some of those various different things. But let's talk about the history. How did Goodness Village start? And I know there was a former name and all of those various different things. And so let's kind of talk about that.
Okay, Chrissy, start on this.
Yes. Okay, well, I went to Little Rock Church when this started, so it was very exciting. But it started at a church called Little Rock Church, but it actually originally started with a lady named Carolyn Johnson. And Carolyn Johnson, was it her mom that was in the hospital?
Yes.
Okay, her mother had been in the hospital getting treated for cancer, and she saw UAMS had started this program treating multiple myeloma patients.
Okay.
And these people were here for not just days at a time. They were here for weeks at a time, months at a time, and they were staying in hotels.
Wow.
And that is not what you want to do. That's not a good quality of life for these people. So Carolyn Johnson, on faith, signed a lease all by herself. And then she got all her buddies at Little Rock Church. She was in a small group. She said, hey, I've got a ministry for you. I've got something to do. Let's help these people. So she brought them in. They all ministered to these. They were cooking for these folks,
Wow.
caring for these folks. And then the church said, hey, we want to be a part of it too. So Little Rock Church, they started it. They called it Home Away from Home. And it was started by Carolyn Johnson, and it has just grown and grown over the years.
So it really just started out of one lady who had enough
one
faith.
lady sitting
Leaning
in a
with
waiting
faith.
room and
Yeah.
talking to other
Yes.
people, seeing that need.
Feeling a need.
Yeah.
Just stood up and said, I'm going to do something about it. That's
And
what
so
we love.
really that moment of home away from home really kind of settles itself in the sense of we really want you to have some sense of normalcy.
That's right.
Yes.
Even
yes.
if it's not fully your normal thing, but yeah, some sense of normalcy, community around you that really kind of loves on you and things of that nature.
That's right.
And so that's home away from home in its beginnings. What is it now?
Well, I don't even know where to start, but I think it's important to say that whenever I started volunteering with Home Away from Home, I was just blown away at what this church, at the Little Rock Church, had done.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, my background's hotel sales and marketing, and so when I started volunteering, I mean, it was just so special because it's like pulling up your sleeves, loving on people, encouraging people, taking meals, and it was just really something special and very, very unique. You know, when you're seeing people coming from across Arkansas and around the world, I mean, it was just something that I wanted to be a part of.
Yeah.
And so I jumped in and started volunteering, and Regina Graham, it's good to mention, she was a director at that time, but we
Okay.
did not have any staff. In fact, we did not have a budget, we didn't have funds and all those things, but that's what's so great. It's been
Yeah.
a journey. It's very, very grassroots, and so it didn't start out all fresh and beautiful, but that journey and walking alongside with many people through the years has just been incredible. So fast forward, after I started volunteering, I jumped in as, I guess it was really the coordinator at that
Right,
point.
right,
No
yes,
fancy, you know, I
yes.
didn't have a
Yeah.
name tag, didn't have a
No,
computer, didn't
no.
have
We
much
didn't have
of
enough money
anything.
for name tags,
we
Kim.
had
That was
we had
too
a
much.
notebook and some sticky notes
Yeah.
and some keys and lots of love for people. And I think that's what people appreciated, Anthony, was that it wasn't, you know, you're not going to go into a fancy desk to check in and this and that. It's just, hey, we're here to serve you, love on you, and provide a home away from home.
Wow.
So after many years of just digging in, you know, I felt like the Lord wanted me to learn every aspect of the ministry. And so I had many hats at that time, didn't have the staff, some volunteers, but I would clean the apartments, I would take the reservations, you know, coordinate things with the social workers. And so it was very, very hard. And so I remember many times, you know, sitting after I'd cleaned an apartment, just exhausted, saying, Lord, you know, what am I doing here?
Right.
You know, but I just trusted in Him, Anthony, and so He just has blessed this ministry so faithfully. But in 2020, after many years, I'm going on my 15th year. It may be
Wow.
good to mention, but in 2020. We just felt it was time to step away from the church and not changing anything,
Right,
because
right.
we're always going to be Christ-centered. But we, you know, going out to try to bring awareness trying to raise funds. We felt it was time to become our own nonprofit.
Okay.
And so I've never been on a board before. Neither has Chrissy, I don't think.
Nope.
And so we just continue to lean in with faith and trying to gather people, getting them in our corner, people with wisdom, you know, just leaning in and getting the job done. And so, you know, becoming a nonprofit, I'm sure you know, you've had to do it yourself.
Yeah.
It's not an easy process. And so, you know, we had a lot of folks in our corner that were guiding us and leading us into that.
That's always good.
It sure
Yes,
is.
it
But
is.
I tell you, it was really interesting. God has a sense of humor. But, you know, when we finally got the final stamp of approval for the nonprofit was March of 2020.
That's
Seems
familiar.
like you remember that, March.
2020.
So,
Oh, how we all remember.
Yes, we
yes,
all
yes,
remember
yes.
March
So
of 2020.
that's when the world shut down. And so, again, the Lord has a sense of humor. And when we were wanting to, you know, when you rebrand marketing, you know, you're wanting to roll out the red carpet, invite people in,
Right.
come and take a tour, see what we're doing, learn about us. Had all of our little wonderful, all
We
the
had
collateral.
so many little marketing pieces.
Yeah.
We had squishy hearts. We were going to
Wow.
give everybody squishy
Yeah.
hearts, and we had little notebooks.
Yeah.
We had all the things to, you know, for the
Ready
big
to go.
rollout.
Yes.
No big rollout.
No big
Yes.
rollout. But
No big rollout.
what I love, and I know Chrissy does too, is that it truly gave us a great talking piece. Because when some of the other, you know, in Little Rock, there's a lot of wonderful housing options,
Yeah.
but ours is unique in the fact that it's fully furnished apartments. Everything down to the books, games, and puzzles. And so when the world shut down and some of the other housing facilities were having to close or run at lower capacities, we were thriving. And
Wow.
it was just really incredible because if you think about it, you turn the doorknob to the apartment when you're entering. That's all you got to focus on.
Right.
You walk into your beautiful apartment where it's fully furnished. Keeping those families together is really what sets us apart.
It
I would
really does,
say.
right.
And where families can cook their own meals, do their own laundry, where they can focus on healing
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. So,
So,
Yeah, it-
especially in one of those moments in
Yeah.
times in 2020 when I think isolation began
Yes.
to be a thing,
yes.
and yet it really kind of showed how much family and community was
That's right.
important for each other.
That's true. And we had a lot of kids. You know, we even have a lot of children with us now, but keeping those families together, we've had families doing homeschooling with their kids in our apartments, and it's just, it really is. I had a family from India recently. We were in her apartment. It's in one of our apartments, and she had to go away for a little bit. She goes, "But we'll come home." And she was calling it home. She kept referring to it as home. She goes, "This is our home," and that's what we want. We want them to feel completely at ease, everything they need. You know, even support if they need support. So, so anyway, it is keeping those families together is really a huge, huge important thing to us.
Go ahead.
And I think it's really important to say when we became our own nonprofit, we're just going to claim that we're going to get for multiple myeloma a cure. Sorry,
Yes.
I get a little teary-eyed about that. We had all of our our eggs in one basket, but
Wow.
we wanted to be able to serve all hospitals. And so, as you know, Little Rock's a huge medical hub.
Yep.
And so to be able to serve all hospitals was very important to us in our new, beginning with Goodness Village. And so it was just incredible. And when we started seeing, talking about the children, that was all new to us. I
Right.
mean, it's hard for anyone that is battling any type of disease, but when you bring in children, it's just, it's hard.
Yeah.
So, but it
Yeah.
feels good.
So we talk about Arkansas, Little Rock, especially kind of being a hub for medical. This started out kind of focused on multiple myeloma,
Yes.
and you all have kind of expanded. Kind of talk about that expansion and what that has kind of looked like.
Talk a little bit about
Yeah, I mean, we we serve all the hospitals now. We've had patients from every hospital with all sorts of diseases, muscular dystrophy. We've got heart issues. We've got primarily there's a lot of cancer patients that we serve. Leukemia, transplant patients. That's really big and new for us.
Wow.
We've got transplant patients coming too. So they usually need to stay around the area for about 90 days or so after their transplant to make everything. So all of this is new. We've got You know, Cartai's been wonderful. We serve a lot of their patients also. So we've been really blessed, and we are serving people from all over Arkansas, but really all over the world right now.
Okay.
So
These another thing is clinical trials is a new trend for us, and so you know we are full with waiting list getting in, but this new trend is we're seeing things we've never seen before, where we're not able to house everybody that we're normally able to house,
Right.
and so we you know. This is a muscular dystrophy called Duchenne's, I think that's what it's called. But
Okay.
I mean, it's just so incredible, like Chrissy was talking about, to house somebody from India, a family from India, and they're here for 6 to 8 months,
Wow.
bringing their entire family from Brazil, Chile, Canada,
Poland.
I mean, and so I don't think people really realize what a need there really is in our city for quality housing, and we're glad that we're able to fill a need in our city.
Yeah, I mean, we know, of course, there's need for that just for even the residents and individuals that live in our community, but even
Yes.
beyond for those that are kind of finding themselves facing these medical issues and things of that nature. And so you talked about individuals coming pretty much from all over the world in some sense or another. How do they find out about it?
Right. Well, we've got wonderful relationships with the social workers at the hospitals, and that's over 30 years of doing that, and so we're very involved with them. Patient to patient, when patients are in the waiting rooms getting to know one another, where are you staying,
Yeah,
and
that's a
things
big
like that. And
word of
hopefully,
mouth.
now that we've got our website up to date, hopefully people are searching on the internet and things like that. But just various ways. But we don't require folks to be referred to by a social worker. So if what that looks like is when they contact us, they we'll refer them to our website. They fill out an application, and so that's a process that kind of helps us to better understand about the patients and their needs, their families, will they be bringing their kids with them, what type of disease do they have, and so we kind of have a better understanding of what their needs will be before they arrive, and so there is a cost involved with we are low-cost housing, and we do have scholarship funds from our Family Support Fund through donations and scholarships that we're able to apply towards the rent cost, and so we're here for the patients.
Gotcha.
It's not about us, and so we're just trying to fill a great need in our city.
So sometimes it's word of mouth, sometimes it's referred to from probably someone that stayed with you and,
Sure.
and
Right.
told somebody else.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's referrals from social workers, things of that nature. That's kind of working in the hospitals.
That's right.
You talked about kind of cost-wise. What does that kind of look like for them? I know you talked about scholarships and things of that nature, but
Yeah,
what are those tiers there?
Right. So yeah, we have different size apartments. We have 2 different locations. Well,
Okay.
actually 3 now, but 2 primary locations. One over at the Park Avenue Lofts, and one over at the Palisades off Rolling Road, and then we also have a small one at Markham Oaks. So we do ask on the application their financial, what they are doing financially. So we kind of have an idea, but we really actually offer we have a set price, and then we do really, if they are not getting reimbursed by insurance. Some people do for their housing, most do not. So, regardless of we will say, hey, can we help you with some support funds? So we instantly will lower it by $20 per night. It's a per night fee. And so we have 1 bedrooms, we have 1 bedroom, 1 baths, we have 2 bedroom, 2 baths, and then a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. So we have different configurations at different prices, but we really do offer everybody without insurance. We will offer them some support, because no matter where you are, you have bills at home, and we do not want you to have to feel that pressure, that financial burden. And so we, according to that, we will apply funds for each and every night they stay with us to help pay for their stay. So
they've got enough to worry about coming from an unfamiliar, their towns and their life, everything that they know, coming to an unfamiliar state and town. And so if we can help out with rent, loving on them and encouraging them, then that's what we want to do.
Right.
In 1995, y'all started with 1.
Yes,
That's
yes.
right.
How many you have now?
We just opened our 24th
24th
last week.
on Monday. I
Yeah,
just
Monday,
signed.
this week. Okay.
Yeah, it was on Monday. Was it the 13th? Anyway, I
Yes.
just signed the 9th.
The
maybe.
9th, that's
I
when you
signed the lease,
lease. Yes.
and we already have a guest. I signed the lease on the 9th, and the first guest came on the 16th. So they're there right now.
Wow.
So
Incredible. Our staff is just, we're so lucky. Just speaking of the staff, is we prayed for each and every one of our staff members, and it's just been the most amazing experience just to see the Lord's hand in that, and all the different, volunteer coordinator, marketing, development, Chrissy with director of operations and cleaning crew,
Yeah.
and so it takes a village of people to do all that we need to do, and it's just. It's been a really incredible experience to be on the front line and seeing how God has been using us for
Yeah.
His glory.
So,
yeah.
Kim, 15 years ago, you started pretty much as you.
Yes.
And now you talk about staff, kind of talk about who and how they've been instrumental in really
Yes.
helping to kind of carry forth and expand this work.
That is exactly right. I'm the luckiest girl alive, sometimes I say, and most every day actually. But, I look back and think, how was I able to do what I had done?
Yeah.
And only through the Lord, that is for sure. But go back to what I said earlier, I think He wanted me to understand every aspect that's needed and never forget. But now He's teaching me something else, which is letting go.
Wow.
That's a little hard for me.
Yes.
But it's my time. I mean, boy, we're all just, now
Yeah.
I'm leading people more and getting able to go out in the community, which I've not been able to do, which I love sharing about, Goodness Village and the future of Goodness Village. And then we've got, all the other staff members who, they're taking care of their areas and it's their area of expertise. And so it's we take pride in every single detail of what we do, and I think people really appreciate that. I mean, our care team members, talk about your care team members.
Oh, I
They're
mean, we
just-
have wonderful care team members. We have just
Apartment care, yeah.
and our apartment
Apartment care,
Oh,
yes.
here's the difference. It's different when you have a job and when you're working on mission.
Right.
That's
right.
right.
And these girls, our staff, they are working on mission, go above and beyond. They're so picky, people. They're so picky. They are the most particular people
We're a
you've
little
ever
picky
met.
too, though.
And so it is, but it makes for a wonderful experience for our guests, and that's what we want. We don't want them, if they have an issue, we are on it. And so our staff is working on mission. We are working to share the love of Christ with all these people from all over the place, and that's a big difference than just a job.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
big difference. So
Yeah, mission is so much better than work.
yes.
It is.
Sometimes we find ourselves doing work because that's what we have to do in the
Right.
moment. But when it can become mission and part of who you are, and you can have a team around you, like you said, Kim, that they own what they do,
That's
That's
right.
right.
They do.
and
right.
now you don't have to
Take pride in it.
micromanage it and all the
No.
other
Right.
stuff.
Yes.
I can only imagine how the residents and those that's kind of coming here feel to kind of be in that. So you've talked about some partners, kind of talk about partnerships and various different ones that y'all have kind of been able to engage with and go.
Well, if anyone knows me, everywhere I go, if there's an opportunity to plant a seed or talk about Goodness Village, I'm going to do it. And I think all of our staff is that way.
Yes.
But it's so exciting to be out in the community to share about Goodness Village and the important work that we're doing. But it's so exciting just to say, people saying, hey, how can I help? How can I participate? And so people might want to participate in different ways, and everybody has their own expertise, but people may want to volunteer. People may want to give, their funds and their talents. And some people may just want to pray for us. And so it just takes a village, we say. And so, but we've got lots of wonderful partners.
We've got lots of beautiful churches
businesses
that
and,
have
and
really-
organizations, just individuals. And
Yes.
so, and kids, we have a
Wow.
lot of volunteers that are children. And so it's really blown me away. And I know it has Chrissy too, just to see the folks that are stepping up to help. We're very thankful.
Yeah.
The
We do.
generosity of the community.
Right.
I mean, because that's what it's going to take
Yes.
for them to want to engage themselves, to see the need, to see the purpose and plan
That's right.
of really what's there. What's next for Goodness Village? I know y'all probably have a lot of different things and plans that y'all probably have in set in mind, but what's next? It may not be future next, but what's the immediate next for you all?
You know, we never want to lose sight of loving up on our patients and families. We just, you know, the day is filled with busyness. There's always something to do behind the scenes, and looking forward and planning for, you know, we've got our Day of Goodness. We're celebrating 30 years, and so that's what's next. We're promoting that, trying to get sponsorships, trying to get volunteers.
Talk more about that. What does that look like?
Yes. Our Day of Goodness, so 30 years, that's a big milestone for us. And so that's going to be September the 30th. It's going to be a full day full of goodness shared in our community. We'll be starting out in the morning working on, I think we have 12 slots, if I'm not mistaken, for volunteer projects. And so what that looks like, we've got different projects, you know, could be making lavender scrubs for the patients, handmade soaps, or mats. We're going to be painting, like with our logo on them, mats to go outside of the doors of the apartments as they walk in, just various different projects. But it's an opportunity where we can get businesses, churches, organizations in to volunteer with us on our Day of Goodness to celebrate, and to, you know, we'll be doing a presentation, kind of sharing what we do and what we represent, and taking a tour of our apartments. And then the evening will be an evening of goodness, which we're so excited about that. I mean, last year was our first ever event, Day of Goodness, and it was just, I can't tell you how special it was to be able to have that. But what that evening of goodness will be representing is patients will be there sharing their stories. We'll be honoring people that have, you know, been helping us out for 30 years in our corner. Just a nice way. I always like to say it's an easy way to learn about Goodness Village, an easy introduction. And so we're trying to get those folks in the room that may not know about us, where we can meet the staff, meet our volunteers, and just see how they might want to participate with Goodness Village. And
what are some other things that you all kind of do throughout the year? You talked about the Day of Goodness and that event. What are some other activities and events that people could engage themselves in?
We have the best volunteer coordinator around. Suzanne, she's so creative, and you know, a lot of kids need those volunteer hours, and so we're real creative with that. You know, there's a lot of businesses that actually get paid for doing volunteer hours, and so we've had a lot of businesses doing that. And so we don't want to just create an activity just to say, oh, they volunteered with us. We're creating opportunities where people can help us get some things taken care of that really need to be done, or things. And so you want to share of anything?
I mean, one of our favorites, shout out to Entergy Corporation. We get those people out there, and they work hard. They've got their brooms. They are cleaning off our porches. I mean, they are really doing work that needs to be done. We have folks that get together and they provide meals. They cook meals in a commercial kitchen with all the good sanitary conditions, and they make meals for our guests. We have folks that have done little special things, little gift bags and breakfast, provide little breakfast bags. So everything we do is going to bless our patients. All of it blesses our patient. It all goes back to making their lives better. So that's
we've got you know, birthdays are still going on when people are with us, anniversaries, Christmas, Thanksgiving,
So you want to
all
be able
the
to celebrate
holidays.
those.
we do.
Absolutely.
We
So
do.
we're their family. We try to be an extension of their family while they're away from home, and so all those important holidays are still celebrated, and we get to be a part of making that special for them. And so it's the community stepping up to help us, you know, helping us with those gift cards, helping us with those baskets, helping us, you know, like Nothing Bundt Cakes, you know, I'll provide all of our cakes for the birthdays and anniversaries and Father's Day and all those things. So it's just really the generosity of the community's really been really been great.
So really being able to kind of help them see the need, help them be able to kind of fulfill some of those personal desires for them that they probably want to have and to really serve. I think about this question often. Actually, both of you just kind of think about it in a moment. Why Goodness Village for you personally? Why this work? Why not something else? Why not still back in the hotel business or Chrissy, whatever you were doing? Or finding something else to do. Why Goodness Village?
This might make me tear up a little bit. You know, being on the front line for 15 years, it's not easy. I mean, the gratification that you receive by pouring into families is very rewarding. The reward that we receive is you can't even begin to put into words. But I lost both of my grandmothers to blood cancer. And little did I know that I would have the opportunity after 17 years in hotel sales and marketing that I was being trained in that aspect, and then to roll over to a nonprofit experience, which I'd never done that. I'd never done ministry work, but to be more satisfied in my entire life of knowing that we're making a difference in somebody's life, that we're helping someone make it through the end of the day sometimes. Being able to be that friend, that person who they just need during that time. And so, but not only that, just people that are friends even after they leave. And I find it's very special that when some of the patients pass away, that we're many times the first person that they call.
Wow.
And so that speaks a lot to me. But for me, the why is to be able to make a difference. And so when we're seeing so many people in our community that need housing, and there's not enough housing, to be able to be that voice, make that phone call, just make that initiative to make a difference, to be that advocate for the families. I want to do it, and our team wants to do it. And so it's really powerful work, rewarding.
Yeah. And I was working at Little Rock Church, actually, in children's ministry and things. And so, and sometimes the voice of the Lord, sometimes it sounds like Kim Burkett. I mean, sometimes it does. So you'll find that with a lot of our staff, Kim is like, hey, I need, so that's how and Kim and I have been friends for
25 years.
Yeah. A lot of years. Yes. So
she sounds like a guy we both know, but
yeah. So I knew that she needed help, and I always loved the ministry. I love that no matter what your skill is, there is something you can do at Goodness Village. If you're a baker, if you're a handyman, if you are, it doesn't matter. We have ladies that make a quilt for each and every guest that comes to Goodness Village. An actual quilt. It's amazing. And so, I mean, if you've got a skill, if you've got something, it's going to brighten these patients' day. I mean, it is, and knowing that I could do something that pours into people's lives so hands-on, it's a blessing for me. I know she said it, it's just, and sometimes it feels selfish, but it is a blessing for me. And I want everything we do to glorify the Lord, everything we do. All to come back to Him. That's why we're doing this. And so we are all called to help the sick. And so this is, that's also something that's just so important, and they're lonely, and they're scared, and they are far from home. And so that's why.
It's such an exciting time, Anthony. I mean, talking about the hard work and the hard days, but just to see how things are really, really coming together. It just makes me so proud, and just to I'm so thankful that we did give up, and we're not going to give up. We're hit so many times where, no, that's not a good idea, or that's this is a good idea. It's a great idea. It's a great idea to give somebody a home, and and the apartments are working great, but we've got great big dreams for the future, but we certainly can't do it alone. And we're just continuing to lean in, and we rely on the Lord to keep the path clear. We pray for protection, because the evil one is always trying to bring us to our knees, quite often these days, in fact. But we hold our head high, Anthony, and it's because we care. We are going to be a part of helping this community. We feel that this unique opportunity to offer this unique setting, home setting, there's really no place like it. We know of other organizations, and I'm not trying to toot our horn or anything, but it is so unique that if we got the right folks on board with us, that this could be something really special for not only our community, but for the state of Arkansas, and taking this model to other places. So Chrissy has to reel me in.
I know. Yes, she's got.
I'm a big dreamer, but I think I'm very lucky to know that God has given me, and not only me, but we know our purpose. We know our purpose.
So of course our point of purpose is to get people connected. So, and you may or may not be ready to share what that big dream is. But what is it that people can be praying about or considering financially to sow into or giving of their time to that begins now to sow into the greater and bigger dream that Goodness Village has?
I'm a big dreamer. I'm a open book person too. So I've got big dreams, and I feel that the Lord put it on my heart. The apartments work great, and you know, you jump in.
Right.
The apartments really, that model works just great. You know, we sign the leases on these apartments. We buy the furniture for these apartments. You know, it costs like $22,000 for a two-bedroom apartment. You know,
That's
cable.
annually?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sign the lease. Buy the furnishings, cable, internet, all those things, and it works. But what we really lack, we feel, is community. And when you're trying to heal and you know, going through treatment of some kind, you need that community. And boy, we try as hard as we can to fulfill that community. And one thing we haven't touched on is our care team members, which are our village volunteers. And we do have a care team member that's assigned to each apartment. And so from the time they check in, that one person is their main contact, where they may go run an errand from them, take them a meal and those things. So that personalization of that community, you know, we've got a chaplain. We try to do that, but we want to bring everybody together. So with that vision, you know, and we know that the land might dictate that. And our apartment communities, they've been such great, you know, partners. You know, it's not just, oh, we sign the lease, but no, they really care about our mission. But still having our own facility where I envision cottages. It could be one standalone building. We don't know. I don't want to take over. Feel free to jump in. But
saying it well.
I tell you, it's not just the building, but it's getting those people together. Walking trails, a chapel, you know, fresh gardens where the community could get engaged, and you know, just a whole environment of just healing and love and encouragement. Where, you know, those caregivers, that's hard.
Yeah, that's what I was going to touch on too. It's the caregivers.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, they are, you know, they're patient. A lot of times cancer patients are, they can't be around a whole lot of people. They are so sick and don't have a lot of energy. But the caregiver, here they are. They've got the energy. They are, so let's make a place where the caregiver can connect with other people. Let's make it, because it's also their mental health for to be able to take care of their person, even their family member better, taking care of that caregiver. And that's what, if we had our own place, it'd be so wonderful to be able to care for them even better than we do now.
And then even though we might have to step out of City Connections where we office out of now, that would be hard. But, you know, having our staff together, that's a little hard where, you know, we work out of our homes many times and we're actually out of our car or, you know, wherever it is. We're just always on the move. Always on the go, go, go. But being able to be there with our patients more and having that open space, we envision that community area. And just where we could do more activities and things like that.
Yeah, big dream, but not too big for God. So.
No. That's right.
Yes.
Too big for God.
Yes.
So we've talked about a lot. I've asked a lot. What's on your heart to share that we didn't get to?
I want to thank you, Anthony. I want to thank you for your friendship. I want to thank you for believing in us. We've been with City Connections and out of your office, I think 2016 maybe. Possibly.
That
possibly
sounds
so.
about right.
And so we have been friends for a while. And so I remember many times when I was desperate for prayer, where you've prayed for me and our staff and our team and encouraging us. And so thank you. And just to have people in our community that are in our corner that we can count on if we need to have a conversation, or that making that connection for us, working as a true community partner, that means a lot. Because, you know, when you go out and try to, I don't rub elbows with many people, but I try to talk to anybody that'll talk to me. But when people get in our corner, that's what's going to make it
Right.
make a difference. And so thank you.
Thank you.
But another thing I'd love to say is you know, getting the city more engaged. You know, I'm hoping that the city really realize, hey, we're in almost a crisis situation of housing. You know, for a lot of reasons, but medical tourism, that's something that has really been on my radar to learn more about. But so many people travel into our city. They're shopping in our shops, they're eating in our restaurants, they're
Right.
all the things. And so what are those numbers? And so when all of the, you know, UMS is growing, Carti is growing, you know, Baptist is growing, everybody's growing, but where are they going to stay? And who's going to encourage them? And who's going to love up on them? I tell you one thing, Goodness Village is.
Goodness Village
So,
definitely
yeah.
That's
will.
right.
Yes.
That's right.
And so I asked
yeah.
you all about your personal reason for why. Again, this platform is intended for people to get connected.
Yes.
Why should people get connected to Goodness Village? You've named a number of reasons already, but I really want them to make sure to see the purpose and plan of why they really need to connect.
We can't do it alone. It's a hard. Every day's hard, but it's a blessing. You have any?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm operations person, so I take care of operations, and we cannot pay the bills without donors.
Yes.
If we want to keep these bills low for these people coming in, we can't do it without donations. That's, and I know a lot of nonprofits are like that, but we are like that. And so, but I just. If this speaks to you, if you are feeling called, if this is something that you can you bless somebody in a house setting? We are a great place to plug in with us. We've got, like she mentioned, a wonderful volunteer coordinator. We can come to your office. We can come to your church. We can come and get something that's meaningful. It's not just busy work. That's meaningful work. And we would love to partner with you. We would love to partner with you.
Give us the contact information for people to be able to do that.
Love to. 501-530-0095, and we've got a great website that we're so very proud of. Check out our website at www.goodnessvillage.org. We're on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And so my phone number, 501-297-1440. I always answer the phone if I'm available.
She does.
So, but we would love to get more folks engaged. But I'd love to kind of share last year, just to end up with a few statistics. We served 405 guests traveling from 25 different states and various foreign countries. And with the average stay being 30 days, we provided 6,310 nights.
Wow.
And so, and that was we were just at 22 apartments last year. So, you know, we're turning away people.
Wow.
Last couple of weeks, we turned away 9 families. And so that's hard.
You have no room. Yeah.
That's right.
We need and rely on the community to help. And so the more folks that get in our corner, we'll keep adding the apartments. Or maybe we have somebody that, you know, we're ready to start on those next plans. But we're ready to just dig in and lean into what God has for us next.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You've heard it, Goodness Village. I'm thankful for the work that they do, Kim and Chrissy. And so again, go visit all the things that they've told you about. It's Get Connected AR. We're here to do just that, to get you connected to the resources that's in our community that allows you to plug in with your financial resources, with prayer, with your service, with so many other things. Until next time, hey, y'all be blessed.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.